Let's fucking go. We about to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. Let's fucking go. We going out blazing.
Let's get hunting.
This is Propulation. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. About to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. 24/7 researching, it's all a fantasy. But if I make the right plays, it pays automatic. Bankroll showing that I know it. Dope strategy. On a winning streak, I'm stacking a dose of the book and shots on the stream, they be killing it. Never gonna stop it, I like if you feeling it. Thinking the players, they all never time you can't make up your mind and just go with your gut. Looked around, we found a glitch. No toast allowed, just post a list. Sophia's fine, sat to his stick, and Caitlin Clark just doesn't miss. Win, lose, or draw, we never quit. When we shoot the ball, it's another switch. Submit the link. Got to go big. Kill him with the PrizePicks. Got to go big.
What's up, dude?
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Propulation YouTube. Coming at you with a little special Sunday stream. Today is May 26th, and we're going to be breaking down this two-game WNBA slate. And as always, joined by my boy Underrated. What's going on, man?
Chillin', bro. Chillin'. We are at day 7 in a row, bro. Day 7 in a row. Streaming. Keeping it moving. How you feeling? Are you awake? Are you awake today? Tell me this.
Sleepy.
Do you have a little more energy than yesterday, or are you the same as yesterday? Where are you feeling?
Well, we're definitely coming up on the rest day here. Thankfully, tomorrow there's no WNBA, so we will be taking the day off, no streaming, and just kind of enjoying the holiday. You know, definitely make sure to take some time for yourself. It's been a real busy week. It's been a really productive week. I mean, we've been on an absolute heater. It's pretty insane. And hopefully today, have a really strong finish and be able to look back at this week with a smile and keep on trucking for this next week. So I'm excited. Nice little two teams, both on back-to-back. So that is a little bit unfortunate. But I mean, nice little 2-game slate here for a Sunday, and thankfully both nighttime games, so we didn't have to mess around too much during the day.
Yeah, should be a fun way to end the week, and then like you said, we can chill tomorrow. Maybe just play the plays we love today and try to get a little profit and chill, and then we'll have a whole nother week ahead of us. It'll be a great time, man. It's been fun, man. It's been really fun. We've had a few fuck-ups, of course, because it's betting. I mean, I wanted to say, because I was listening to the stream back yesterday, I was like, you know what? I was on Mabry under way too much yesterday. Way too much. She came out and said, why are you taking my under? I'm Big Two's favorite player. And she just busted us, bro. She busted me personally. I had way too much. So...
yeah, that whole game was honestly just really unfortunate. From the AT ejection to the early fouls to, again, I don't know what's going on with the officiating crews in the WNBA. The no call stuff right now is just absolutely absurd. I mean, I know the commentators were pretty livid in the last Indiana game. Not the Vegas game, but the one against the Sparks. No calls left and right on blatant stuff, and then you go out there, I swear you fart, and they'll throw you a tech. I mean, it's just absolutely absurd. And I think, the whole AT situation last night, yeah, it was a warranted. It was a warranted tech. I don't know if it was a warranted ejection, but they were both throwing hands at each other. So, I mean, this time around, Reese, she kind of got away with a little bit there at the end, and AT just threw hands first and got thrown out. And kind of is what it is, Some days are going to be like that. We're going to have some plays that we were pretty high on. Like Mabry, for example, she burned us in the first half because AT had, 5 turnovers, something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And Mabry scored. She scored off of 3 different broken plays, and then somehow also mustered up 3 free throws against one of the lowest free throw allowed teams. So
right,
still stayed underneath her first half fantasy, which we were on the first half. I think more so than anything. I wish we would have played a little bit more of the actual fantasy than anything else, but I digress. she burned us. She's shown us that she is a basketball player, and days are going to be like that. But hey, let them keep bumping her up. She was at 18 points this time. Like, please put her at 20 points in one of these actual tough matchups where a team comes to play. I'm not sure what's going on with Connecticut. I'll just speak on that team as a whole right now. They are going to be a bit of a cautious approach for me moving forward. I'm not liking what I'm seeing the last 2 games overall, honestly.
Really? Well, they are the only undefeated team,
They are, and I think that thankfully in the latter stretch of this last game, especially down the fourth quarter, Bonner really caught fire. I mean, she was absolutely unstoppable. And if you look though, there was a nice stretch where Connecticut was just throwing the game completely out of control. Where after AT was ejected, I mean, the turnovers were just insane, and they just work on these fundamentals here, and I think this team is going to look a lot better. Yes, they are undefeated, but I mean, still, some of their matchups have been pretty cake. I mean, they
That's
played
true. Yeah.
Indiana twice and what have you. So
right. But I mean, they did hold it together with AT out in critical time in that game, and they still got the W. So. I mean, and also Brianna Jones, man, she's real dealing it out there,
back.
bro. Yeah,
she's back. Yeah,
7 for 8 from the field. I'm seeing 16 points, 6 rebounds. It's good for her. And I think she lost a little bit of weight. She seems like she's moving a little faster.
She is, and she has, and her ankle, that Achilles is definitely feeling a lot better for her. She's obviously ramping up a lot of minutes here, and we are going back to the traditional Connecticut look that we've seen a lot of times where, going back to even JJ, whenever she was in this situation, the first half, they're inside the paint, they feed the center, and they try and get as active as possible, drawing a lot of fouls, the 1-2 punch between Breezy, and then AT, and then you have Bonner and Carrington also, the perimeter shooters and the slashers. So it's really coming together. I think that they just need to work on some of the fundamentals. Like, these turnovers cannot happen. I mean, they have so many games. I mean, geez, they were almost lost to Indiana at one point because they were just turning the ball over so much. Like, that has got to stop. So I'm hoping that's going to be one big thing for the coach to work on over this time for the break, and especially after that AT ejection. Like, this team should rally in a big way. I think they actually play at home too next, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, with that being said, I was looking back at what we did yesterday, and I think it's important to just go over, it's fun to say, oh, we did so great. Oh, we did so great. But hey, when things don't turn out exactly how we want, I like going over what we did wrong to move forward, because I was thinking Diamond was going to come in and do something and, slow Mabry down, but she played 15, 17 minutes or something like that. And Mabry was out there firing. So, anyways, the point is, I think, we had a day that, AT was one of our top plays. She didn't even play the whole game because of the ejection. We still pretty much broke even. When you pretty much break even on a bad day, can't be mad,
Yeah, exactly. And, thankfully, some of our early slips, especially our first slip that has hit the board so far, I think we are maybe 7 of 7, like every single day. I got to go back and look at that, but I mean, something close to that. And just beating out some of that early value is huge. One example was yesterday for Nneka Ogwumike. We needed her to clear that 18.5 points, and if you got her at 19, well, you got to push. And thankfully, in that game, which was a blowout, she got 19 points for us exactly. So everything all said, I think we were roughly 6 units in for everything posted in the Discord, and we ended out with 6. So decent wash for the day. At worst case, maybe you lost a little bit, a unit or so in second half betting, live betting stuff, but just be smart about it. And speaking of the Discord, hey, check out links down below. You guys, we're still running the 7-day free trial. All that's still going on right now for a limited time. And we're doing giveaways in there right now, or not literally right now, but we've been doing giveaways in there. We're going to have some more coming up. Yeah, probably this next week. And Oh, just a lot of stuff, coming up here in the near future. So definitely check that out. And if you guys could just do us a huge favor before we hop into everything, make sure to hit that like and subscribe down below. And if you got any questions, make sure and throw them in the chat. I think let's get caught up in chat here real fast, and then we will go ahead and jump into it.
Let's do it, Big E. Let's do it, man. We got one day before the break. Let's see what we got going here. We got Big Coach. Did we win? That's his signature line there. Did we win? Yeah, we always win, Coach.
I think so.
He's setting a light goal at 25, he says. I know we can do it. Let's ball. Share with your friends and family. Coach wants 25 likes. I swear yesterday we got like 40, over 40 likes yesterday. For this little baby channel we just started, we're on the come up. Let's go. We got Big Cam, Big Chosen, Bingo. Thank you. Nice doing business, bitch up.
What's up, guys? Welcome.
We got G-Man. We got Big 2.
Hey.
Look at Michelle. Michelle says Bonner was pissed AT got ejected.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it was her game at that point. I mean, like I said, there was like 2 minutes where they would just all run around with the chicken with their heads cut off, and then Bonner was just like, okay, give me ball, and then it just went from there. I love when she's in the zone like that. She is such a fun and crafty player to watch.
AOD says, sup, bros? Edward says,
Hey,
what's up? Coolio.
Hey,
Well,
what's going on?
Want to get into the, Minnesota-Atlanta game?
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop into this one. That is, just under 2 hours from now. So, I believe we got most of everything. Let's see. All right, Canada was officially ruled out. I hate that RotoWire's been doing this. They like green out the players here in the middle, and usually that means they're good to go, but they're actually ruled out.
Hey, when Canada comes back, wait, is she coming back here soon? I like Canada. You know I like Canada.
Yeah, she's supposed to be back at some point. There's something going on with her hands and the recovery for that, so they've been kind of playing Haley Jones here for a little bit, but she's going to be back sooner than later.
That'll be interesting. I like that team.
I'm excited.
I like that. Yeah, right? Look at that, bro. They'll have her, they'll have Gray, they'll have Howard, they'll have Tina, and they'll have Parker. That's not a bad starting five there.
Yeah, and honestly, I think for not only Haley Jones here in particular, I think she's a great player. We saw her last year whenever she had a much bigger role and a larger kind of spot to fill with a lot of the injuries and stuff they have. I think for her development, it's great for her to be coming off the bench to run the second unit and have the opportunity to kind of not really compete with all the starters. Because I mean, you look at all these starters, and outside of her, these are usage monsters. I mean, this team has some legit firepower across all four of the other players. So she is clearly going to be that player more than likely to come off the bench. I mean, there's some world where I guess Coach could be bringing Canada off the bench, which I would say whenever she does come back, more than likely she's coming off the bench and she's going to sub in first for Haley Jones. But at some point, more than likely, Haley is going to go back to the bench and they're just going to run those as five.
Yes, I like that. It's like we were talking yesterday, the parity in the league is getting more and more. I like it. It makes it way more fun when there's not just whoopings every day.
Exactly. For me, even though they are a phenomenal team, I don't want to see the Aces go, 38-2 or whatever the hell that was a couple years ago. That's not fun to watch. I mean, they're gonna win every single time, and even some of the spreads and stuff. I mean, they have been absolute freebies, like the Indiana covering 16.5, or something absurd like that. They're not playing any defense. I mean, Vegas is a totally different team this year, and I mean, like I said, like we were jokingly but serious. I mean, this is the most competitive league that the WNBA has ever had, and this year I truly could not with any certainty be like, yeah, this team is for sure going to win the championship. Like even this might be a bold take. I don't even think Vegas is the clear-cut number one team to win right now. How do you think about that?
Well, you do know Vegas whooped ass yesterday, right? They just started out a little slow. They won by 19, so they still covered.
They did.
And also
for sure.
And also, bro, Big Chelsea is not in that game, and she is huge for that team. So I think when she comes back on that team, they're going to be right back to how they were last year, and the parity will start under them, in my opinion. They're going to whip everyone's ass still. Look at Jackie, bro. Jackie's going crazy.
Yeah, she is.
And Asia's going crazy. It's like, I swear, the Caitlyn effect. It's not on Indiana. It's just the entire league. Everyone's playing harder. Everyone knows there's more people watching now. I feel like everyone's, stepping it up and trying to say, look, guys, we've been here the whole time. Fuck Caitlyn. Sorry, Caitlyn, love you. But you know what I mean.
No, for sure. And, I absolutely love Jackie. They had a long interview talking with her and the coach at some point, and they were talking about how, the fact that she was getting back to her point guard days, in college that she kind of grew up on and was used to coming into the league. So over the last several years, she's been playing in that kind of, small forward guard range. And now, especially with the injury for Gray, she's comfortably embraced that role back as the lead and running point for the team. So, we were kind of 50-50 between knowing, like last year, whenever that would happen, they would kind of try and slide Plum in at the 1 and run Jackie at the 2. But now, they pretty much solidified the roles across the board. So I love to see it. Jackie's an absolute beast, and more than likely, Vegas is obviously making the postseason, no duh. And I don't know. I feel like there's teams that could actually rival them this year for once.
Big Plum had 7 assists yesterday too. You know that?
Yeah, and I'm so glad we actually did not play her under assists in any kind of official plays, because we were going back and forth with that all day.
Mm-hmm. And she got right over her points. 19.5. She ended with 20. So.
Yep. Did she get those threes? I actually meant to go back and look at that.
She went 3 for 10 from 3.
She did? Okay. Mm-hmm. That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, easy enough. Well, let's go ahead and we'll talk about some game lines, spreads, and see what's going on today.
That's getting angry at you, bro. I said, are we going to hear about any props or what, bro? Y'all just going to talk? Y'all going to give us some props? What's up, bro?
Well, we're going to talk about some props. Yeah.
All right.
The Atlanta Dream's favorite here, I think a little generous on the spread. More than likely it's just coming from the home advantage and the fact that Minnesota is on a back-to-back. I wouldn't even be surprised if Minnesota covers here. This one I think is a true pick-em. Don't really have any kind of a clear-cut favorite. But, man, I'm surprised here, though, for the next game that Dallas is actually the underdog. What do you think about that?
I was looking at that, too. I was like, well, that must be a huge thing with the back-to-back. And then also, yes, they did win yesterday, but we were looking at the roster yesterday and laughing at it, how shitty it was. It looked terrible. They came out and whooped Phoenix. But,
Yeah, Maddie Seagrass had a career day, and obviously Enrique dropping 40 points is kind of an outlier. But, yeah, that's a bit of a head-scratcher. I would say today there's no real strong leans. If I had to guess, more than likely Dallas does actually pull out the victory here. But they've struggled so bad on the road. And, yeah, I'm not going against Minnesota. If I had to pick here, it would probably be Minnesota. But I might take Minnesota for the first half. Yeah. If I had to pick, probably the first half here, but
nothing crazy, huh? Today. Nothing crazy slapping you in the face. AOD, what up, bro? We love you too, bro. But yes, I don't see anything standing out in those two either. So
nah, I'm good. Consideration for the under on the game total here, and then I would say probably over on this one, but they are on a back-to-back, so that's what a little hesitation there. So probably just this one for the under.
Right.
All right. Injury. Diamond Miller still out. We talked about Canada. Jaylen Brown, I think she's going to sit again today. Yeah, illness. So she sat out yesterday for an illness. More than likely, she's probably out again today. All right. Let's get into some props here.
All right. What up, DB?
Hey, what's up, DB? What's going on, fam? All right. So we will let's start off with the Minnesota Atlanta game here real fast. I think there's a couple of first half props we could consider here today. One of them is definitely going to be, and I know it might be kind of not the most crowd favorite here, but they did bump her down. She opened at 7.5, and I think this 6.5 is a little too far. She probably should be right at 7. And Minnesota still struggling really bad inside the paint. You look here, they are giving up the most amount of points in the paint, and I believe second chance points, kind of middle of the pack, but points in the paint, not defending anything. And team metrics here, you can see the rebounding as well. Minnesota not really doing a whole lot of that. So I think Parker's real good spot here. Tina kind of sketchy on the first half. She's all right. Howard here, pretty solid. You could probably consider the first half 9.5 points. I think for her, honestly, my favorite prop is going to be the fantasy at 35.5. She's been really kind of flirting around this here since the season started. They've only played 3 games, so do keep that in mind. There's still a pretty small sample size for Atlanta overall, but I do like her RA upside. Alicia Gray has not been doing anything for RA whatsoever, and Haley Jones not playing any minutes. And Cheyenne Parker not really rebounding either. She's just scoring. So keep that in mind. If you're chasing like rebound stuff for her, you're probably not going to get it. You're really paying for blocks here. Same thing for Tina Charles. She's not really doing much on defense. She's just offensive firepower, trying to do isolation ball, step backs and stuff like that. Howard felt pretty solid about. The history's pretty good. She's playing insane minutes as much as she can. Alicia Gray, you can play her points, but man, she's so flaky. I mean, look at this all over the place. 12 points in the first game. She should have had a good game, but I mean, 22-21. The only thing about her is her field goal volume is not that high. I mean, she had 12, and then 17. The 17 was really only on the fact that she was getting hot from 3. She hit 4 of 9. So if she's not really kind of making a lot of like extra buckets here, she's been pretty hard capped somewhere around this like 12 to 14 range, and I just don't expect the same thing here.
Okay. I got a little interesting tidbit here. Cheyenne is 13.5 points on PrizePicks. She's 14.5 on Underdog, and she's 14.5 on Parlay Play, which is interesting. So, what's weird is it's 6.5 first half on Underdog also, but it's 14.5 for the full game. Why would that be? 6.5 to 14.5 is a crazy difference.
Yeah, that sounds like the line went the wrong way.
So you'd play that first half? That's the one you like the best?
I think she's been more consistent in the first half. I mean, you can see, she was right around those lines here for the first 2. And yes, this was even preseason, but still, I mean, this first game here, you can see that it took a little bit of a dip down. But I mean, 18 and 16 points in the full game. And then you go back to the first half, she had, 6 and 10. So I guess it's kind of, it feels about the same, honestly. I mean, on PrizePicks at least, you're not getting that much of a discount. But I don't know, maybe it's enough to just take the full game and hope she's cooking anyways. Let
me tell you something wild and wacky. What about playing the over 6.5 first half and the under 14.5 full game? Ooh wee. Is that too much? That's too scary, huh? That's too weird.
It's a little scary because another rationalizing or kind of thought process of the first half here is I'm expecting the same look that Minnesota opened with last time, and that is where they run Feezy at the 5 and they have Alana Smith at the 4. And in that particular defensive setup, I think Alana Smith is yes, a better defender, but she's more foul prone. And one of the things that Parker is really phenomenal at is getting to the free throw line and just, being aggressive and trying to draw fouls. So I think in the first half for that particular situation, she's going to have a little bit more time with just Alana Smith on the floor, because once they make first subs, Alana Smith goes to the bench, and then Dorka Juhas, she's back. So she comes in, and whenever she comes in, she stays at the 5, and then Feezy, she slides at the 4. So Feezy has been a phenomenal defender. I mean, she's been absolutely locked down on a lot of her opponents so far. So there's just some chance, like an unknown amount of time, that for the full game prop, she could still be covering Parker here and make some of that difficult. Where at least in the first half, I know that first 6 minutes of the game, Dorka's not going to be on the floor.
Okay, well that makes you like the first half better.
Just a little bit, and she's just, like I said, just been more consistent in the first half. The only thing for her, and I gotta caution you guys, is just the minutes. If she gets 2 fouls, she's going to the bench, and I mean, you got to pray to God that she's coming back out for the coach. And same thing for Tina Charles, though. If she gets into 2 fouls, coach is going to bench her, and she's going to run Parker for even more minutes. So it's a double-edged sword. It could work really well in our favor, or we could get totally screwed from it right off the get-go. But in that situation, like I said, just that little time on the floor with Alana Smith, I think is a bit better. Everything kind of all said and done.
Okay. DB says, I need some alien arms to get rebounds. I assume that was Brink, huh?
Yeah.
Then he said they bumped
Brink.
Courtney Williams' first half PRA. Any thoughts? Courtney Williams' first half PRA.
Yeah, I saw she opened at okay, so she bumped down. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
She opened at 12.5, and it was, I mean, she's kind of appealing. Her minutes, I don't know what happened again last game. She did not play that many minutes, and I think, did she even close? I actually need to look at that.
She's 12.5 on Underdog still, first half.
12.5, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so she did close. Kind of played, I mean, this rotation was super weird. I don't understand what happened here in the second half. That would kind of lead me a little bit more to the first half props here, and she's obviously she's been more consistent here with the first half anyways. I mean, look at her logs across the board, very consistent all season. I think this 12 flat has me a little bit more enticed now than the 12.5, just because we do get that push factor. We're paying for minutes though, and
you know what's funny? They fucked up on parlay play. They got her at 1.81 they're paying for 24.5 PRA full game, and 1.85 for 23.5. So they're paying you extra for the 23.5 PRA. So if you like Courtney Williams, that's the spot. 23.5 PRA, 1.85 payout. Craziness.
And where's that, on Underdog?
That's on parlay.
Oh, on parlay? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that. Absolutely. So let's talk about Courtney actually real fast for a second, because I know her assists are definitely a popular play. It's gonna look okay. I mean, this honestly doesn't even look that good to me, but she's a popular play today for that and the RA. I think if you're gonna do it, probably leaning to the RA is a little bit better. Atlanta is actually dead. I think they're dead last in assists per game. Okay, they're bottom 4, so just slightly above Washington here. I mean, these two are basically the same thing, so they're kind of like bottom 3 assists allowed. That's kind of worrisome for me. And I mean, she's got decent history, so I totally get it. But this Atlanta squad is completely different, and she could have her hands full here. I don't really know how to feel about Courtney. Like I said, the minutes have me a little bit concerned. That's kind of weird, and this just doesn't scream like a great spot.
I would say if you like her and you have parlay play, just play it over there. 23.5 at 1.85 is amazing.
Yeah.
Ryan Howard, first half fantasy over looks good. Says Wilfredo. And he also said Parker first half fantasy. So Howard and Parker he likes. And AOD says smash the like button.
Yeah, Howard, absolutely. I mean, we like her full game fantasy, so for all the reasons that I said earlier, totally right there with you. Parker, Parker
We
is
used to
an
we used to
interesting
take
one.
Parker's fantasy. You remember last year? Not this year though, huh?
We did, but that was whenever she was playing at the 5.
Okay.
So this you are rolling the dice strictly on stocks. I'm letting you know that right now. She could go the whole first half with 0 rebounds, 0 assists, and it'll be all points and stocks. I don't mind it because of the scoring upside, and I think that she could honestly put up like 10 real points here. But again, I mean look at these. So we'll compare the last 2 games here just to kind of give you an example. So the Dallas game, she had 13-2 for the fantasy. You go back and you look at just the straight up points here, and I believe she had 10 real points. So yeah, 10 real points actually in that 13 fantasy. So she got a rebound, 2 rebounds and a turnover, something like that. So very, very small wiggle room there. And then, I mean, Phoenix, not really that many stocks, I guess she's probably getting, but she filled up the RA in that game. That one I do remember. And she had 16 and a half. You need stocks. You need the stocks. But I will say this is a pretty enticing line. Normally she's 12.5, so we're still getting at a bit of a discount.
Okay. So you like it decently, and Ryan Howard, but you like Ryan better. You like the Ryan full game.
Yeah, I expect the game to come down to 4 quarters. So there, unless you're seeing something extraordinary in the first half, like I know there is a big difference between Alicia Gray, her first half, and the full game. She turns up a lot more in the second half. If you look at her first half, I mean, this is putrid. This was a stock game to get her over that, but the normally, I mean, unless she's racking up the RA here, the scoring itself has been so lackluster.
Why can't we go under her first half fantasy? Scared?
Yeah, well, the fantasy, I would say probably not. I wouldn't mess with that too much. But I think that just the straight up points here at 8.5, this is definitely a very interesting look. You could definitely consider this for the under.
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
she's been by far like the number 4 and 5 in usage rating.
Right.
It's that second half that really throws her ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. Unless Parker or Tina get in foul trouble, I would assume they got scores on the team now, so it's not just Ryan and Gray. Parker's gonna go get hers, and Tina's gonna try a little more than they never had a Tina last year. So especially when Canada comes, bro. When Canada comes, Canada goes for it too.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty awesome. 100%. So 2 things here real fast before we kind of move on. If you're going to play Parker, I think you should also have a consideration for Tina Charles. Not the fantasy necessarily as much because her defense has been absolutely terrible. With the PRA, I could see it. Feezy, she's going to put up a bunch of field goal attempts in the first half. Usually averages like 8 to 10. So a lot of rebounds, a lot of potential for scoring upside here as well for her too. Yeah, couple things to consider there. And then on Minnesota really for the first half, I think just Courtney Williams with the line movement at 12, you could definitely consider this for the over. And Feezy has been right there on the line. She's probably good for the fantasy here, but she's been really turning up in the second half, so I probably wouldn't mess with anything else, honestly.
Okay. Got a couple questions if you want to look at them.
Yeah, what's up?
First one is Hamby a lock for over fantasy 33.5? I know that's the next game. And then Don says, how y'all feel about Towns over 19? If he does score this game, they will lose. Well, that's NBA, but I know you have your thoughts on NBA as well.
Yeah, we'll touch on NBA here in just a minute. Towns, he's been all right, man. He's been such a fraud in the playoffs so far. they need him. They definitely need him. But now after seeing, I think that that interview that Ant had where he was like, I'm gonna take more shots and do more on the team, I think they scheme up a little bit more to get him going. I mean, Cat's been okay. The thing about Cat though is his backup and Naz Reid, or that whole situation with him coming in, Naz has just been so productive. Like, unless Cat does something extraordinary to really push him out of the spotlight or that bench unit, I mean, if he's not stepping it up here, I mean, that's been the game flow for every single game so far with the Dallas unit or with the Dallas series. If he's not coming out of the gates immediately firing today, then I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, he's a scary click.
Yeah, he pissed me off the last time that we played him anyways, because he was just ran out there and just was breaking everything, wide open looks, free walk-ins. So yeah, just for me, I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Sorry. Hamby though, 33.5 fantasy. That is definitely live.
He said he changed it up. I'm sorry. He said 33.5 PRA, not fantasy.
Oh, yeah. The PRA is definitely not bad. I know it's a massive community to play, and it looks pretty good.
She's been going ape shit.
She has.
Whew. Is she going to continue, you think? Can we count on her like that? She's done it every game, right? Look at that. 37, 39, 39, 37. She's been consistent. Remember that one game, the first half, she didn't do shit. She came out second half and said, look, this is what I do. Is she going to do this all year?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I did not know she had it in her, bro. I did not know. Pause. I didn't, though.
No, 100%. I think she definitely has the capability for it. She's playing just an absurd amount of minutes, and they run the entire offense through her and Brink and the high post. The only thing about her is you got to pay attention whenever she's just gassed. I mean, this last game, again, I swear that shit was rigged for Indiana to win. So whatever, I'm just gonna overlook that. But she was acting like she was about to have a heart attack out there in the entire fourth quarter. I mean, she was passing off so many open drives that she could have went up to the basket, so many potential back downs. And today, I want to give you guys just a tiny bit of caution. I gotta caution a little bit today, because if you look at who she's matching up against, she has to cover McCowan. If they put Brink on her, Brink is going to get blown away like a fucking tornado wind. She is not going to be able to hold McCowan down. So her biggest challenge today is going to be handling McCowan down low and handling the boards. Let's look real fast just at the metrics. I want to show you guys. So the opponent points in the paint. This is something that I've got to be a little bit concerned about. Dallas, they're allowing the second least amount of points in the paint, and that's all really where Hamby's scoring from. It's strictly in the paint and from the free throw line.
So say that again.
Really
second least points in the paint.
Yeah, the second least amount of shots inside that interior paint presence and like the free throw area. Dallas is the second best. They are not having it.
So Hamby, making us a little worried about Hamby.
Yeah, and you should be. So when the last time we were on Hamby real big was in this matchup here against Indiana. So you can see Indiana, they were actually at number 2 or number 3 at the time, but they are top 4 in points in the paint allowed. So that's why we targeted her in that matchup. It felt pretty good.
Well, I know one thing from yesterday. You are targeting her rebounds today, right? Not really her scoring as much as her rebounds.
Yeah, and I'm gonna segue to that here in just a second. So if you just kind of look, at her presence overall, what she does in the game, a lot of it is a good chunk of it is from the free throw line here. Her 3-point shot is almost non-existent, and then it's just raw field goal attempts. So 2 things here. If she is just in her zone and she's hitting a lot of those mid-range stuff, I could see her scoring being pretty solid here. But you got to look at last year and the couple games that she played against Dallas. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but she just has to have the efficiency here. You can see the high efficiency, and then the game that she started where she stunk it up. I mean, shortened minutes were way down. and I mean the production was definitely night and day. So just keep that in mind. I think the just raw field goal volume could definitely carry her over that, but the she's gonna have her hands full. She's got to guard McCowan, and then she's also got to score on McCowan, and that's kind of a tough ask.
McCowan ain't no punk.
No, McCowan could be having herself a block party here. And then also another thing to consider, we were warning you guys because we took her overs this last time. Brink, they are going to get her working into this offense at some point. She has to get going. They cannot have her and Claridon both out there standing around watching life go by. Somebody has got to shoot the ball.
Do you like Brink today?
I do. I think that Brink actually has, somebody mentioned the alien arms for the rebound. I think the rebound is a really solid play for her today. She's going to be needed at basically all times that she's not in foul trouble to be on the floor.
I was going to say.
They have
those 26 minutes is because of those 5 fouls, right? She would play 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. She was coasting in the first half, and then she had, I think, it wasn't even back-to-back. It was like 3 fouls in a row and immediately right back to the bench. And then came in, picked up an early foul again, and then thankfully she closed the game out strong. But these are rookie things, Boston, very crafty player. Smith, very crafty player. Was drawing the fouls early. And, I mean...
What do you think about the matchup for her today? Sorry to cut you off. What do you think about Brink's matchup? Like, is she going to be able to do her thing? Score a little bit?
She'll have a couple more open looks to the basket, I think, for sure. Whenever they come down into the lane, like I said, whenever they set the high post, more than likely McCowan's gonna walk up to meet Hamby for that set post. So as long as Brink can just get her footwork down and get some kind of a cut to the basket, I could see her having another 7 to 9 field goal attempts, no problem, just on necessity alone because of the presence of McCowan. I mean, she's going to have to dump the ball down to Brink. And Billings, she's been a pretty solid defender herself. Another reason why this Dallas defensive metrics is the way it is. That's the easier matchup on court, but I mean, Billings ain't no slouch either.
Right. Hey, real quick. Was Brink's rebound 7.5, or was it always 7? Because did it bump down? Because it's 7.5 on Underdog, 7.5 on Parlay, but it's only 7 on PrizePicks. Has it always been 7?
Yeah, so she opened at 7, and then she walked up to 7.5, and I guess people are more than likely rationalizing the same things that I'm talking about here of, maybe she gets into foul trouble, maybe she doesn't. I think the 7 now is definitely playable. I would actually put this in the queue just
I don't hate that. Where's her PR? We don't get her PR? Being mean to us? Or do we get her PR? Ooh.
We did.
Ooh.
Yeah, 17.5. So
no, it's 17 flatter.
Slight tax. Or yeah, 17 flat. Slight tax on it though. So I mean, you are paying a tax on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the scoring could be there. I'm just gonna say that it could be there.
You like the rebounds better?
Yeah, this is the most consistent thing that she's done so far this season.
That.
While she's not in foul trouble.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I said I liked Mabry yesterday, so I'm kind of scared to say I like some, but I like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really solid look, and I wouldn't be surprised if it bumps back up again, honestly.
Okay. Don says, would you bet Atlanta if they get down, to get plus money? But Atlanta's minus 3.5, I believe. So I don't think they'll be plus money. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, they're not going to be plus money. Atlanta will definitely be the home favorites today.
AOD
now
says
maybe
looking...
if you're asking like in the context of during the game, if you can snag them while they're at plus money, just as long as the game's staying close.
Right, if they get down a little bit, makes sense.
Yeah.
AOD says looking forward to watching these games at the bar and winning some money. See, they play WNBA games at the bar nowadays. Caitlin did it for us. Turn on the WNBA game, guys. Yeah. Fucking love you, Caitlin.
Oh, it's amazing, and the more exposure we get, the more options and the more things that we can bet on in the future.
Oh, perfect to tell you. I forgot. Guess what? Good old Fliff has props for WNBA now. Yep.
Oh, what?
Yep. And they even have more players. They had like Uzin I looked at today. They had different players that we don't have.
What?
Yes.
That's
and
insane. That's
yes,
so
and
awesome.
they have points. They got assists, they got rebounds, they got different shit. And you can parlay them with, money lines and different things. So, you know how Fliff is, they let you parlay everything. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, so I see that he was asking about the live betting. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think as long as they keep it within eight points, anything double digit, I might be a little hesitant on. Two things I want to see in the game though that are really going to make me feel comfortable about a comeback is if Howard is cooking and if either Parker and or Tina Charles is cooking. If neither one of those bigs are cooking, then I don't see them coming back. But one of them has to score here.
He was saying live. That's my bad. I looked at it now. I was reading it wrong. I was looking at Fliff here to see what they got. Brink 7.5 minus 110. So that's 7. Man, that's a nice play right there on PrizePicks, I think.
Yes. I think this is for PrizePicks standard. This is a very solid option today. If she gets into trouble, guys, it is what it is. That's a risk that we are taking, but she is in line for a bounce back game, especially. She's been trending up. This is good stock value. I liked it at 6.5. I could still play it at 7. And then real fast, to kind of talk about her as well. I think the 1A, 1B punch here is going to be between Brink and between Hamby. Initially, I liked Hamby's rebounds a lot for a lot of the same reasons that I was talking about earlier. The McCowan, the usage rating that McCowan typically has is somewhere between that second to third range. So she's going to take a bunch of shots, a lot of low rebounds. But Dallas is the least three-point shooting team in the league. So they are not taking it from beyond arc at all. So a lot of rebounds are going to be right there inside that juicy sweet paint area. And assuming she runs out, plays another 35 to almost 40 minutes, she's easily going to walk away with another. I got her projected for about 12 to 13 rebounds today. But if Brink gets into foul trouble, I'm thinking closer to 14.
That's crazy that Dallas shoots the least amount of threes or down there on the bottom with Enrique on that team, shooting 12 of them. The rest of the team's like, we can't shoot that far.
No, but losing their two best players in Satu and then Howard, that was their best perimeter shooters outside of Enrique.
That's right. And then they still whooped Phoenix yesterday and told us, fuck you.
Sure did.
In Phoenix, too. Wow, man. They got us, bro. They got us. Yesterday was backwards. And we, like I said, we still broke even, and the shit was just wild. All right, we're changing that up today. That's why Brink's getting that 8 rebounds.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, cool.
Last couple of props to talk about before we head out here. I think 2 different combo props were really standing out for me today. One of them, definitely the Howard plus Feezy, 41.5 points here. Both of them clear cut, number 1, number 2, kind of 1A, 1B usage on their teams respectively. I think Howard, decent history against Minnesota. I like the fantasy a little bit better, but Feezy, she was a little bit more chill yesterday. That first half, some of the buckets weren't really falling that she were normally hitting on any other day. So I think there's a little bit of wiggle room here. And honestly, either one of these players can go out and drop a cool 30 on any given night. So I like the upside here. Yeah,
I like that too. I was going to say one falls off, the other one's going to hopefully pull that combo back together. I like that, bro. I like that.
And then the other one, the only reason I don't like this, I do, but a little hesitation here for the Feezy plus Enrique is just the fact that both of them are on a back-to-back. If there wasn't that, I think this actually is a really strong option for 2 reasons. The Sparks, they're allowing one of the most 3 points per game. They're number 2, just behind Vegas, and Atlanta. They haven't really played a true team that has a 4 and a 5 for that 1-2 punch there. So I think today she gets a little bit more active. Tina Charles, like I said, not the best defender, and I could see easily both of them going out and put 22, a cool 20 plus for both players.
I'm a little worried about Enrique today. She could tell me fuck you and score 40 again, but bro, she scored 40 yesterday. So you know how players are when they come off their crazy games like that. So I'm a little bit hesitant.
No, for sure. Right there with you. Honestly, I was looking at her under today. This 3.5. I'm kind of surprised this is still up here. It's a little bit different on some booking sites, but I know DK earlier it was at -120 for the under, and FanDuel actually had this at -140 for the under earlier this morning. So, I mean, dude, look at this. This game log is all over the place. It's either she's hitting 1 or 2, or she's hitting 6 or 7.
Well, there's value here. If you look on Underdog, it's 3.5. If you go under 3.5, they're only paying you 0.9. So there's value there on PrizePicks with that. So yeah, you were onto something with that.
Hey,
although then we have to cheer for
better.
Enrique not to shoot 12 threes today, and that's, you might as well flip a coin.
The only reason I'm scared is the matchup. That's the only. If I wasn't looking at what everything is on paper telling me to stay away from, Enrique, she's been struggling from 3, and I mean, Lexi Brown, was it Lexi? Their best perimeter defender? Yeah. Lexi, more than likely, I think she's going to be on her the entire game. And that three's, that's going to be tough.
Christopher
First half
Singleton.
over, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Tina Charles.
Yeah, it was her first half over PRA at 12.5.
Is that what it is right now?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, sir.
Sorry. Howard over 18 points. Another question. What do you think about that? You like her fantasy today? Like pretty much, what, everything? Or you like her fantasy better?
The fantasy a little bit more specifically. I think if you're gonna, like I said, I think for the point, just straight up point upside, I think you're better off with the combo prop here, and just hope both of them have a decent to slight ceiling game here. I could see the points, but I mean, just know that outside of Haley Jones, I mean, there are a lot of hungry mouths to feed on this team. And if any one of, actually, let me talk about this real fast. I'm glad. Yeah, because this is slightly important. Aerial powers. Okay.
Oh no.
Once this focusing,
not her.
We've got to talk about aerial powers real fast. This is something that needs to be addressed real quickly.
Uh-oh.
So this last game, she played 16 minutes, and the previous game before, I think she only played like 12 or 14 minutes. But her time on the court is directly impacting Ryan Howard. I cannot stress that enough. Her being on the floor is killing Ryan Howard. We've seen these last couple games where Howard just completely ghosts in the second half, and a lot of that is coming from aerial powers, just doing her little pop off. So if aerial powers is going off, we are probably cooked, or you're sweating something real bad. That's really the biggest reason why I'm on her fantasy is the most, is just hoping that she's racking up the stocks, she's racking up the RA, because the shooting volume is definitely a big old question mark for this team.
Aerial Powers is the poor woman's Ryan Howard.
She is. So she is their dedicated, really sixth player off the bench, and I had forgotten about her. So Haley Jones, I'm surprised even has a starting role over her. I think that's just a time and a place right now once Canada gets back. So yes, Powers is their sixth player, and she has been such a presence on this team, and I think this is only something that we have to monitor going forward. 17
minutes last game. Only 8 minutes the game before, though. Only 8.
Yes. So her minutes are going up. That is a concern. We have to follow that. But maybe that makes us like that first half fantasy just a touch more. But I hate selling out on first half props so much. So
yeah,
you know, if you're torn between the two, maybe kind of get a little 50-50. But yeah.
Big Two says
who's gonna have to show us?
Yeah,
today?
Who's gonna have to show us today? Big Two says. I love it when we look for those unders. But I mean, people showed us yesterday. They said, "Hey, oh, y'all want me to show you? Okay, here you go. Boom, 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 boom." They showed us. Big Two's woman showed us yesterday. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the two different unders that we're going to consider would definitely be this Gray first half, just because she's been so passive, so chill so far, and then
I like that.
The other one has got to be You could probably consider Hamby under just the straight up points here. I mean, 19.5 is definitely a tall ask. Ooh, they moved Enrique to 4.5 assists. Now that's an interesting under. This is really interesting.
What's up with her assists? I know we thought she was going to have more at the beginning of the season. What happened? Remember? We were on assists, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we were, and that's pretty. It's kind of depressing to see. But yeah, she's not running the offense at all. She's playing true hero ball through and through. They're yeah, it sucks. Here, we'll look at the last game real fast. Actually,
Don't be sad.
I mean, dude, we have McCowan and Soares, the centers, are the leading assists and playmakers here. And then we have Uzin is the next up behind that. But I mean, look at Enrique, 17%. Like, that's pathetic.
Bro, imagine being a woman or a female or a girl and your last name being Soares. Ugh, it's bad. And it's on the back of your jersey. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, we're gonna go. I'm thinking some under on Enrique's today. Yeah, she might be one that has to show us.
DB got it under. He threw it up there before Big Two said. Oh no, he right after Big Two. He said, "Porn star under fantasy." She'd been hacking lately and back up, stealing minutes. Dorka. I was looking at her like too, and bro, she didn't have the minutes I thought she had. She scored points somehow. I don't know how. I guess she's just been balling this year as far as scoring goes, but she didn't have the minutes last game because Dorka. Like, it was a huge difference. Remember we looked at the minutes? She had 39.5 a game. Remember that? And then let me
I think she got into a little bit of foul trouble too.
Is that all it was?
No.
21
this might be
minutes
a new look for their offense.
No, that's not the.
Yeah.
Is that her? 21 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. So, you have to. So forget Alana last year. She spent a lot of time at the 5, and earlier this season she had a sprinkle bit of time at the 5. Okay, all that is gone. That is not the Alana Smith of now. That is gone. Forget that shit is not happening anymore. She is a shooter and she is a blocker. The rebounds and stuff, I think this is just a product of the game, and a lot of these, Seattle's just been absolutely terrible to start the season. They missed a ton, and then Connecticut. That specific Twin Tower matchup, I think any of the potential Twin Tower setups that this team is going to face, she might have a high rebounding upside, but her fouling upside is insane right now. And then Dorka being back, they have that 1-2 punch. Like I said, Feezy starts at the 5, and then as soon as Dorka checks in, she starts at the 5, and Feezy slides over to the 4. And anytime she's at the 4, that means Alana Smith's going to be on the bench. So
wait a minute. Are you saying DB is onto something here? Are you saying Porn Star is going to have to show us?
I think so, but I mean, hey, you got to keep in mind though, if she's having herself a block party, you're probably cooked.
It's weird. She had 0 blocks last game, won the game before, and then 6 against Seattle. Interesting. But that was double overtime also, you got to remember. I forgot that's why a lot of her minutes, why she was leading in minutes. That double overtime game with no Dorka. So, yeah. Something under for her. What are her rebounds? 6? It's a little low.
Yeah, I probably would say right now, sweat out the fantasy under and just hope she does not have a lot of blocks here. But God, she might against Miss Parker because all that down low action, man. I would not be surprised if she has 2 blocks in the first half. I gotta throw that out there.
What about her PRA?
I think the PRA is a solid look. Just based on minutes alone.
Oh, 20 and a half. Guess what? Underdog 21 and a half.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's her fantasy on there?
They don't have her fantasy. They don't have her fantasy. They have points, PRA, and rebounds on Underdog. That's all.
Okay. Well, in that case, I would say under fantasy for PrizePicks, and then under the PRA for Underdog, since you're getting a little bit here. I think she still probably even stays underneath this. I wouldn't be surprised if she also gets into foul trouble. But if she's shooting the ball well and she's getting blocks, I mean, she's going to get the minutes. So you got to just keep that in mind.
I'm playing that right now. What was the other under that we liked? Not Enrique. What was the other one? There was one other under you said you liked. Oh, the first
Yeah,
half
with
gray.
Gray.
That's right. I'm going to play first half gray with Lana under PRA right now. Oh, no, it's 8 on Underdog. Fuck you, Underdog. I wanted that 8.5, damn it. Oh, well, foiled.
Uh,
I'm leaving Alana in the queue, though. I'm ready.
And then one last little kind of sprinkle for an under. I think this Lexi Brown first half at 6.5. That feels a touch high. Her shot volume has been kind of all over the place. Dallas has been pretty strict against the 3-ball, and Sven, or what's her name, Sevgi Utzen, she's going to be covering her, and I think she's a pretty solid defender. I don't think Lexi's going to be getting a lot of open looks here tonight.
That's another really bad name for a female. Uzen. DB says, I took Collier and Tina rebounds. Am I cooked?
No. Actually, one of our first plays that we posted last night was Feezy's rebounds. You can see it's the most popular play today. But
Ooh,
yeah, we got it at 9.5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hammy finally jumped up because I saw Capper posted her earlier. But Feezy was leading all day, the 10 rebounds here, and then McBride's fantasy. It's not bad. I mean, she's been getting this in the last, I think, 3 out of 4 games, and the history pretty decent. She's just playing a shitload of minutes, so I could see that.
Feezy is 1 point. Feezy they're paying on parlay 9.5, even better value than PrizePicks was yesterday. So if you like that, it's on PrizePicks 9.5, 1.78. Not bad.
I do like the combo. Tina, I think, has really good, solid rebounding upside here. And did they move? Why is it that? It should be 19.5. That's kind of weird. They either they didn't bump this, or one of these two is probably going to bump back down right before locks. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's pretty good value. Yeah, I mean, you're still basically getting VZ at 9.5, so I can get behind that.
Word up.
Word.
Big 2 GOAT. McBride under first half fantasy. She hasn't hit it. Is that a trap?
We talked about it the other day or yesterday. Remember, I mentioned the first half under PRA. She barely stayed underneath that too. I could see it. I mean, she's taken a huge backseat to all these players so far in the first half. So I mean, she's gonna have Howard on her, and Howard's been pretty damn good defending the 3. So I could see that the first half if you're gonna do it, not the full game. Before we get out of here though, I gotta say my favorite play across everything, hands down, it's got to be Monique Billings, this first half PRA. Absolutely love it. She's playing an insane amount of minutes, 33 to 35 a game. But the first half, she's played 17 minutes in both of her starts. And I think huge upside here. This should be at least 12.5, so we're getting it also on a discount. And yeah, she's going to give Brink the business today. Y'all watch.
I'm surprised they got it at 11.5 still.
Me too.
Her PRA full game is what?
20, I think it's 22.5 unless they moved it up. Yeah, 22.5 for right now. I do think this also will move. I mean, she's just been hustling. But for that though, if you're going to consider, I think take her full game fantasy because she does have some phenomenal stock upside.
Oh wow, okay.
All right, y'all. Let's see. Lexi first half on Underdog, like better. Yep. All right, y'all. We got 50 minutes here. I think we're about to head out. Underrated. You got anything else, my man?
Not much. Big 2 says Enrique is going to turn into Curry and break the record. And Big 2 has been smoking.
He might be. He might be. One last little thing. I got to put this out there before they bump this line anymore. They have, it's for Tuesday whenever play resumes after the holiday, but they have Caitlin Clark against the Sparks here. And again, I mentioned the Sparks are giving up the second most threes per game. Caitlin Clark has been at 3.5 threes the entire season, every time on the books. I don't know why she's at 2.5, but I'm going a full unit on this play, just so you guys know.
Wow. We love you, Caitlin. He loves you, Caitlin.
She's coming off of extended rest. They're coming off of a win against this team already, and they're back home finally. So I think she's hitting 3 threes. You guys heard it here first.
Okay. I like it. All right. Well, is that about it? We're gonna go get in the Discord and get ready. Put a couple more plays in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry. Last thing here, real fast. Nas Reed, absolutely love his straight up points today. I know this is one of the massive favorites. We got him in early last night, and we also got Lively. He was my favorite pair to play with. He was at 17.5. I still love the 18 flat. He's just been playing an absurd amount of minutes, and yeah, I think if we had to pick today, these will probably be the three. You are paying the tax on that, but I think he's still good for it.
Alrighty. AOD says full throttle. Let's fucking go, E. Let's fucking go. Underrated, he said. AOD's pumped.
Let's go. Let's
Cool.
go. But hey, last thing real fast before we get out of here, folks, if you could just do us a huge favor, like and hit that subscribe button down below. It's always free for you guys. And speaking of free, we're still running that 7-day free trial in our Discord. Check out the links down below for our Patreon. And yeah, we'll see you guys back here Tuesday. Appreciate it, fam.